Have you been eating candy and throwing away the wrappers? Tut tut. No, no. We're going to make some gorgeous ephemera for our journals in this next session. And all you're going to need really is some packing tape, some candy wrappers, and a bit of glue. We'll dive right into it in a moment, but before we get started, I'd just like to remind you that I do send out prompts, printables, and creative pep talks through my Substack newsletter. So if you'd like to sign up for that for free, there's a link below. Now, let's get started. So this is a very straightforward, simple craft. You will hopefully have gathered from Christmas all of your candy wrappers. I have gathered these over a very long time before any of you say anything. No judgment. I've got some pieces of cardboard packaging that came with a parcel that I've just guillotined down. And first step is just to take my glue stick and take some of my candy wrappers and start collaging them onto a piece of cardboard. And the glue stick is not going to be what permanently holds it to the card. This is just essentially to get everything in the place we want it in. So I'll just start collaging and speed up the process. Okay, so now I have this. I did take a little bit longer than necessary kind of getting this in place, considering I'm just going to put a load of parcel tape over it, but that is sort of our nature as junk journalers to perhaps take a little bit longer than necessary over some things. Now, the reason I said it doesn't really matter, how you glue this down, i.e. how much glue you put down. I did put a lot down, sort of unnecessarily, because it's just kind of instinct when you're doing these things. The reason that you don't really need to worry about that is that you are just going to go over the top of it with some sellotape or parcel tape, whatever you have. Parcel tape is arguably better because you are going to have fewer layers, so you have fewer seams. And I'm just noticing a little bit of damage to this end of the tape, so I'm going to pull it out a little bit further. There we go. So I'm having one of those days where that took me a little bit longer than it probably should have done just to do that simple task, but I didn't want to leave just this tiny little edge without any tape on it, so it was a bit difficult at the end there just to get it rounded off. Then all I'm going to do is round the corners. And I think that is just super cute, and what's even better is that these candy wrappers don't end up in the trash. I've got a journaling space on the back. If you're really precious about it, you could cover up the tape on the back with little embellishments and get some glue down and kind of cover that up a little bit. I am not concerned. I quite like sort of seeing the functionality of what I've done. So you could also cut the tape a lot closer to the edge if you were concerned about that, but I am not. I'd rather have a proper seal on my journaling card. So that's the first one I've done. I'm now going to play with the other bits of cardboard, put some music on, and see what else I can create using this method. I'll come back at the end and show you what I've done. Okay, these have come out even cuter than I was expecting. This little M&M's tag, sorry about the glare there, but that is just adorable. I'm gonna hold fire before I decide whether or not to top these tags. I'm a little bit concerned that doing so might actually distract from this. So for now, I'm just going to have it as a little thing that I can pull out of a pocket. Obviously, there are lots of possibilities with something like this. You could just keep adding layers. You could, on top of the parcel tape, you could start adding acrylic paint. There's a lot you could do. For this project, really just wanted the brands themselves to take centre stage. So I haven't even inked it around it. I will just round the corners on this one, as I have on the other one I've done. But other than that, I really am loath to distract from the branding. I just think that's going to make a very cute little pull out in my visual journal. This is the other tag that I made. And again, other than rounding the corners at the bottom and snipping off at the top, I haven't actually embellished. I really, really do want these brands to take centre stage. This is adorable. I really wish I'd thought to do this a lot sooner, because these brands over the years have changed. And even the names, these used to be called Opal Fruits. The kind of retro brand was called Opal Fruits, and now it's called Starburst. So I could have all this time been cataloguing vintage chocolate and candy brands. You live and you learn. I just didn't really think of it until I saw that flip through of the Wreck This journal where they'd taped over it. So I am going to be playing. I've got still, you can see, I mean, I've still got some things to play with here. So I'm going to continue off camera with that. But I would just look very carefully at things that you have come to think of as everyday things. You know, one day these are going to be vintage and they're going to look extremely cute in your journal. What else could we do this with? Any ideas? For those of you concerned about the plastic that I've sort of got going on here, the kind of leftover packing tape, please don't worry. I am on a huge kick about upcycling plastic in my journal, and I'm working on a video where I show you all the ways in which I've come to recycle or upcycle plastic in my journal. This, believe it or not, will be used. I will be using this to mark make, and then I'll be cutting it up to make little plastic confetti for a collage or a little sample bag, but more about that in another video. So please don't worry about this. I will take care of this. There will not be any wastage. But I would like to know what you think about these kinds of projects where we show brands. What other things could we do this with? What do you think looks cool? What do you think will look vintage, you know, in 10 or 15 years? I would love to hear about it in the comments. For now, I'm going to say goodbye. I'm going to continue playing, and I'll see you in the next video.